doesn't specifically talk about which book. But if I said the book, I'm being specific about which book I'm referring to. You know, if I ask Erica, go get me a book, she'll just go get any book that's back there. But if I say, go get me the book, then if she knows what book I'm talking about, she'll go get me a specific book. So articles can be definite or indefinite. And those are the articles that you have, the, a, or an. So I just took a chance to just bring that up. We will interject that. What's the adjectives? And green. So big is describing who? Green is describing what? Vegetables. What is a pronoun? What is a pronoun? Takes the place of a noun. A pronoun comes in 3 degrees. If you see, there's a commercial, comes on Geico, was it Progressive Insurance. The guy is saying, Blake wants insurance. And she's asking, who's Blake? Yeah, he was Blake. You know, Blake likes. You know, Blake wants a good price. You know, so she's trying to go through this and tell him all about Progressive. You know, Blake wants to come on board. So she said, okay, I'll get you with one of the representatives. So the guy comes out and he said, hi, I'm Jim. He said, who? Oh, Blake's looking for insurance. And she went, oh my goodness. You know, it was starting all over again. He was speaking in the third person. He's Blake, but he's speaking about Blake. But he is Blake. But instead of saying I, which is first person, he was speaking in the third person, himself. So you have to look at pronouns. Pronouns can be deceptive sometimes. Because you have to really look and see who are they talking to? Or who is this pronoun replacing? Is it replacing this person, this thing? Because remember, it replaces a noun. And a noun is a person, place, or thing. So it could be talking about a person, place, or a thing. So you got to know which one is it replacing. When it says, Which one is the pronoun? He. Who is he? We don't know. Because we had a whole group of sentences up there, then I could be talking about Ernest is a avid eater. He likes to eat everything, from Wendy's to Cindy's, And then if I say he ate all the food, then we would know he is replacing Ernest to say who was eating up all the food. I don't know about that. Which one is the pronoun? His. Who is his replacing? Because I could say Don gave Don's food away. But that would be redundant in the sentence. So that's why they don't use it. So we replace the pronoun his. So it sounds better. Don gave his food away. Instead of saying Don gave Don's food away. You replace it with a pronoun. So the pronoun is in the second person talking about his. It's dealing with the food that belonged to him. Any questions over the first four things that we have gone over? Over nouns, verbs, adjectives, or pronouns? Any questions?
I know you haven't got the scripture yet. I guess using that, a lot of scripture, they start talking about something, like on the first scripture or book or something, they start saying but they really haven't said who yet. How do you put that with that? Like Paul does it a lot. Paul does it a lot.
When he says what?
He'll just start saying sometimes, he'll start saying he, but he might be talking about, you don't know he until you read further down the case. Right. He does it a lot.
Now if you know who the author is, you know who I is. I will be referring to whoever the author is. If it's Paul, and he's saying, I went to so-and-so, or I was at Corinthians, or I say, I salute you, and then if you know who the author is of the book, then the I becomes that person as we're going through the scripture. But when you see he, she, it, they, them, it can become more complicated. Because now you're going to have to really read through that scripture in context and make reference into those pronouns. Who are they talking about? Because a lot of times people mess up scripture thinking it's referring to one thing, it's actually referring to something else. Because he, it, they, them could be way down here, but what it's referring to is way up here. Or a chapter over. So you really have to follow the thought of what's going on. That's why you just can't take a scripture. I'm in 2 Corinthians 6 and 9, and that's all I have. Really. Whatever happened to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Whatever happened to everything before that? Because if you haven't gone through that, you don't know what 6 and 9 is talking about. Who is he? Who is they? Who is that? That. What is that? What is that referring to? You don't know. Unless you put it together with all the rest of those. That's how people get scripture misinterpreted. Or they get it in such a way that they're purposely taking it out of context. That's like Satan did to Jesus in Matthew 4. He took that scripture and saw out of context. Throw thyself down, lest thou dash thy foot against the stone, and thy angels come to bear thee up. See, he took it out of context. That wasn't what that was about. It wasn't for him to throw himself down. That wasn't the pretense of it, but that's what he tried to make out of it. Saying, go ahead on, tempt God. And that's why he came back with the word, it is written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. See, because he knew what he was trying to do is to get him in a place of tempting, to throw himself down so that the angels would come and bear him up, and he would do something supernatural in the natural.